The BBC is a great British institution, and it plays a vital role in our culture and in our creative economy. It broadcasts our values and identities all over the world, reaching hundreds of millions of people every day. In January 2022, the government and BBC agreed a 6-year funding settlement, which froze the licence fee at £159 for 2 years. The 2-year freeze has already saved every fee payer £17 over 2022 and 2023. This settlement provided vital support for households when inflation was at its highest, while giving the BBC the funding it needed to deliver on its remit. Under the terms of the settlement, the licence fee must now increase annually in line with CPI, with the first increase due in April 2024. The government is committed to supporting families as much as possible during these difficult times. We recognise bill rises are never welcome and family budgets remain under pressure. Today, I am announcing that we will use the annual rate of CPI in September to calculate the increase of the BBC licence fee in April 2024. This, Madam Deputy Speaker, is the same way the government calculates inflation-linked increases to state pensions and benefits. This decision means next year's licence fee increase will be kept as low as possible. In April, the licence fee will rise by 6.7% to £169.50 annually. This will minimise the rise for households, keeping it to £10.50 over the year, or 88p a month, rather than the rise of £14.50, which would have happened under the previous CPI measure. With an increasingly competitive media landscape, we need to make sure that the cost of the BBC does not rise exponentially, nor that it is borne by a smaller number of fee payers. We've already seen an increasing number of households choosing not to hold a TV licence. The number of households holding TV licences fell by 400,000 last year and has declined by about 1.7 million since 2017 to 18. This is placing increasing pressure on the BBC's licence fee income. We are also seeing a rapidly changing media landscape with more ways for audiences to watch content. Reach and viewing of broadcast TV fell significantly in 2022, with reach falling from 83% in 2021 to 79% in 2022. As this trend continues, linking the TV licence to watching live TV will become increasingly anachronistic as audience viewing habits continue to move to digital and on-demand media. We know that if we want the BBC to succeed, we cannot freeze its income. But at the same time, we cannot ask households to pay more to support the BBC indefinitely.
Madam Deputy Speaker, working people listening to the Secretary of State's pitiful comments on support with the cost of living crisis are not fools. They see exactly what this is. We've had weak, mealy-mouthed platitudes that will make no material difference to their lives. 33 pence a month per household is what I understand the difference to be between today's announcement and the deal the government already agreed to. Now, that's not nothing, but does she really think that's going to even touch the sides? Is she the Prime Minister? Are they so out of touch that they think that this is going to get people through the Tory cost of living crisis? They crashed the economy, sending mortgages and rents sky high. They hiked taxes on working people. They have presided over 13 years of stagnant economic growth, Madam Deputy Speaker, 13. And what is the cost of the government's announcement today? The creative industries are one of the best sources of economic growth and quality jobs in the country, and the BBC is the biggest commissioner of work in the creative industries. So, has the Secretary of State worked out what the impact of choosing that particular inflationary measure will have on economic growth and jobs? Has she worked out what it will have on the other creative businesses they commission and on their supply chains? Has she worked out what this difference will make on the BBC's crucial role as our soft power superpower that promotes brand Britain around the world? Has she worked out what the impact will be on democracy, given the BBC's role as the most trusted source of news anywhere in the world? And when it comes to the funding model review, I understand the terms of reference are overtly focused on the commercial side of the BBC. Why is she seemingly, I didn't hear a word about the public service element of the BBC. She mentions an expert panel. Can she tell us who will be on the panel, what the timetable will be that they work to? Can she tell us where the public service element will feature in the government's terms of reference? Has the government actually given up on the BBC as a public service broadcaster? I'm afraid to say, Madam Deputy Speaker, it all sounds like yet more broken Tory promises. This is no way to treat one of our great institutions, no way to treat millions of people who work at the BBC, their partners and people around the country who value them so much, because let's not forget, this comes on the back of a 2-year freeze, which has already had a damaging impact. We've just got more and more signs at the moment, Madam Deputy Speaker, of which is just the latest, of chaotic decision-making, of a failing government